Hey guys, Aslar here, and today we're going to be taking a look at how to tank the Iron Juggernaut fight as a protection warrior. So the first thing, let's take a quick look at the talents here. In the level 15 tier, you'll want to take double time for the double charge on the mines. Impending victory as usual, don't worry about shouts. Dragon Roar as usual, vigilance is a pretty good talent here, and bloodbath. Okay, so when we drop into the fight, whether you're main tanking or off tanking, the first thing you're going to be taking from the boss is a bit of melee damage. Now, if you start the fight, you won't have the rage for a shield block, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. Chances are you're using Bloodlust at the beginning, there'll be no problems with healing you for this first little bit. If you're taunting off your other tank, then you want to have 60 rage going in for that taunt, because the shield block will really keep your health up for that first ignite armor that comes in a few seconds later. When the Ignite armors come in, you want to start chaining 60 rage shield barriers as quickly as you can. The first stack's not too bad, you can probably get away with not having one up for that, but for the rest of them, you really want to have one up, especially on Heroic, as these start hitting really, really hard. As warriors, unfortunately, we don't have that much to mitigate magic damage, so it is pretty important that you get these shield barriers rolling. You'll want to try not to use shield wall if you can, because it's much more useful on the crawler mines, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So as long as you're chaining those shield barriers there, you shouldn't be taking too much damage. And obviously you're taunt swapping at 3 stacks anyway, so it's not a big deal. As you leave tanking the boss, you'll need to go and start taking the mines. Now, for the first few seconds, you will actually have the Ignite armor stack still up. So it is important to keep those shield barriers rolling as you're taking the mines. What I find is quite useful is perhaps getting a couple of hits off on the boss before you take the mines, just to get your rage up again, and also an impending victory if your health is dropping a little bit low. So you want to start taking these mines. You want to just walk to the first one, take it, charge to the second one, take it, and then charge again to the third one. You can actually charge when you're up in the air as well, which will stop you taking any fall damage, which is very nice indeed. So you want to be charging to these mines, and then on the last mine you want to heroic leap down onto the boss for that little bit of extra damage, but also just to get you back onto the floor ready to pick up the boss again. Bear in mind when you're taking these mines that you can use your tanking cooldowns, and it probably is a good idea to do so. It's the highest point of damage in the encounter for you, so you want to be using Shield Wall and Last Stand at the same time, if you can get away with that. And the other thing is, Shield Barrier again is fantastic. It's a little panic button. It will allow you to soak a large portion of that damage. One rule I would say is probably never take a mine if you're under 30% health, or maybe even 50% health if you're not too confident in your healers. You can always ask for an external cooldown as well. Things like Pain Sup are excellent for this mechanic. And don't forget, when you are main tanking the boss, you can also drop Vigilance on your off tank for him to take the mines with a 30% damage reduction for 12 seconds, which is fantastic. In Phase 2, let's not forget what we've got to benefit the raid. We've got Rallying Cry, which is pretty good, just to get everyone's max health up, and Demoralizing Banner, which will just reduce that damage a little bit further. Keep an eye with your vigilance as well. If you didn't use it on your off tank, it's probably quite a good idea to use it on a player if they get caught out of range of the healers or whatever. Lastly, don't forget to be intervening the main tank whenever you can. Obviously you don't want to be in front of the boss when the Ignite armor comes in, so that will require a little bit of timing practice, but if you do have the opportunity to do so, that will keep your vengeance up for the time that you aren't tanking the boss. You want to use Skull Banner on cooldown as with Shattering Throw. Thanks so much for watching this Protection Warrior guide to Iron Juggernaut. In future I'm going to be posting guides for all the bosses in Siege of Orgrimmar for Protection Warrior, so if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button, like this video if you liked it. Thanks a lot, see you soon.